differences between vas efferentia and vas differentia. Children, from the last videos, you might be knowing that in the male reproductive systems where these parts are located. So I am not going to discuss them again. So vas efferentia arises from reti testis. Hope this reti testis location is clear to you all. So your vas efferentia arises from reti testis. Now vas differentia arises from cauda epididymis. These both structures are clear to you all now. But again, for a short, I will be explaining it. If suppose this is a testis and this portion is a reti testis, and from here your vas efferentia is moving out. So your vas efferentia is arising from your reti testis. And when we talk about epididymis, so this end part is your your cauda epididymis. From here your vas difference is emerging. So children, vas efferentia arises from reti testis and vas differentia arises from cauda epididymis. Now coming to their numbers, vas efferentia varies from 15 to 20 in numbers. 15 to 20 in numbers. Fine tubes of vasa efferentia in each testis, it varies from 15 to 20. But when we talk about vas differentia, their number varies only. Their number is only 2. They are only 2 in numbers. So from each testis, one vas differentia is moving out from to make the male reproductive system. Now structurally, vas efferentia is a very fine tube-like structure, and vas differens, they are thick tube-like structures. Then this point is very important to be noted, that vas efferentia, their lining bears many ciliated cells. Lining means the inner germinal layers of the vas efferens. It is a tube-like structure. I will explain it now. And here in vas differens you can see that I have written lining has many stereocilia. Now what is stereocilia? I will be explaining it. Now if we move back to vas efferentia, I have written that their lining bears many ciliated cells. Now suppose this is the tube of vas efferentia. Now the inner lining of vas efferentia is lined by a hair-like structure, and these hair-like structures are called as cilia. They are called as cilia. Cilia are the very fine hair-like structures, and they are flexible. They can move. Their function is only to wipe the sperms forward. So from vas efferentia, thus with the help of the ciliated cells, the sperm is wiped into the epididymis part. Now in vas differens I have written that the lining has many stereocilia. Stereocilia means cilia will be present, but they are not flexible. If this is a tube, so cilia is present, but this cilia is a very tough structure, and this is called as stereocilia. This is called as stereocilia. They are not movable, they are not flexible, they are stiff. Their function is also same. They will also allow the movement of sperms to move down to the later part and enter the vas differens. But in the rest part of the male reproductive system, but then it is stiff. The structure is stiff. Then vas efferentia, main function, it carries spermatozoa from the reti testis to the epididymis. Now I hope you know that where reti testis is and where epididymis is. So vas efferentia is an intermediate connection between reti testis and epididymis. So spermatozoa or the sperms which are present in the reti testis, now they are passed to the epididymis through vas efferentia. Similarly, vas differentia, it carries spermatozoa from cauda epididymis to the ejaculatory duct. Now vas differens is a portion, is a part which is present in between epididymis and your ejaculatory duct. So in between these, the long tube is vas deferens. So vas deferens is carrying your spermatozoa from chorda epididymis to the ejaculatory duct. Hope this difference between vas efferentia and vas differentia is clear to you all. Now we shall proceed to the second difference between Leydig cells and your Sertoli cells. Now children, Leydig cells are also called as interstitial cells, and your Sertoli cells are also called as nurse cells or sustentacular cells. Now why they are called so? They are called as interstitial cells because while discussing the diagram of seminiferous tubule, I have discussed that if this is one of the seminiferous tubule, this is another seminiferous tubule. So your Leydig cells are located in between the two seminiferous tubules. So that is why it is called as interstitial cells. Leydig cells are located in between the seminiferous tubules. Here your Sertoli cells are called as nurse cells or sustentacular cells. Why they are called so? Sertoli cells are called as nurse cells, nurse who is taking care of someone. So these Sertoli cells take care by providing nourishment to the developing sperms. Hence it is called as nurse cell. Why they are called as sustentacular cells? The word sustentacular means supportive. So these cells are supportive for the developing sperms. These Sertoli cells are located in between the seminiferous tubule, and they provide support for the development of the sperms or spermatozoa. Hence Sertoli cells are also called as sustentacular cells. Now these Leydig cells are located outside the seminiferous tubule. Now I told you all this is a seminiferous tubule. This is seminiferous tubule. So these Leydig cells are Leydig cells. So these Leydig cells are located outside the seminiferous tubules. But what is the location of Sertoli cells? If we talk about now located within the seminiferous tubules, where in the germinal lining of the seminiferous tubule. If this is your seminiferous tubule, so in the inner germinal lining, your triangular shaped Sertoli cells are located. So Sertoli cells are located inside the seminiferous tubule. This is a seminiferous tubule. So it is located inside, and your Leydig cells are located outside the seminiferous tubule. Now children, Leydig cells are found in groups and they are round in shape. You can see that they are found in groups. They are found in groups and their shape is round. But when we talk about Sertoli cells, these Sertoli cells are single. They are not found in group. They are single. In between each Sertoli cell, spermatogonium cells are located. They are elongated. They are elongated shape. Lambe lambe. They are tall, pillar-like. So they are elongated shapes. And they occur singly. They are not in groups. But when we talk about now Leydig cell, they are found in groups and they are round in shape. Leydig cells function, which is most important, that they secrete testosterone hormone, which is a male sex hormone. It secretes androgen, for example, testosterone, which is a male sex hormone. This is secreted by Leydig cells. But when we talk about Sertoli cells, these Sertoli cells are responsible for the secretion of two types of chemicals, that is your androgen binding protein and the second one is inhibin. Androgen binding protein is a chemical which is helping to concentrate the testosterone inside the seminiferous tubule. Now outside the seminiferous tubule, the Leydig cells are located, and the function of this lady cell is to secrete testosterone. Now these testosterone will be entering inside the seminiferous tubule. So androgen binding protein, this chemical, helps in concentrating the testosterone hormone inside the seminiferous tubule, so that the proper development of sperms can take place. Now second chemical which is secreted by your Sertoli cells are inhibin. Now what is inhibin? What is the function of inhibin? Inhibin helps in suppressing the FSH secretion. What is FSH? Follicular stimulating hormone. So your inhibin hormone or inhibin chemical secreted by Sertoli cells it suppresses the secretion of follicular stimulating hormone, so that the development of the follicles, that means your sperms, would stop now, because excessive is not good for anything. So once the sperms are produced in an adequate amount, FSH secretion is suppressed, so that the production of the sperms would stop. So your Sertoli cells are helping in secretion of androgen binding protein and inhibin, which is also a type of protein, and plus Sertoli cells have a function to provide nourishment to the developing sperms. Hope these differences are clear to you all. Thank you.